one a week, you will be selling 10 times more art. And in 2 weeks, you will have 10,000 more followers. And then that is not happening. 85% of art was mediocre art. Bad product is bad product. Thanks God we have social media, guys, right? This is so difficult. Life was a pain. Hello, everyone. Hi, everyone. We welcome you to the second episode of this podcast, which we hope is going well. And today we decided to discuss, is talent alone is enough in order to be successful on the market, or is marketing still an efficient and essential element of the whole game changer? So stay with us till the end to see how the whole thing goes. Yeah, and welcome to the Art Salon, where we share the real experience of being an artist, the struggles, the wins, the success, and embracing the chaos of being an artist. I'm Maria, a creative strategist. And I'm Tanya, a full-time artist who is still figuring things out. So grab a coffee, grab your sketchbook, and let's dive into it. So let's discuss. To begin with conversation, what is your take on that? So you've been on the market for quite some time. You know both sides of the whole process. What is your opinion? Is marketing enough? Is talent enough? Or should you still have two things in order to be successful? Well, I think that still everything in our life is awesome when it's in balance. So I think the nice foundation is a talent. To have talent as a foundation, it's really great. And of course, knowing what you do in art market and knowing your next steps and strategies is even better. So having the balance between this and that is kind of a perfect scenario. How serious you are this time, Jesus Christ. Sorry. From your experience, like how you remember it, did you immediately, like just right when you started out, did you immediately have both like all the talent that you wanted to have? I know that's never a thing. No. And at the same time, the understanding of how you will like promote yourself, how whether you have this personal brand, or were there any struggles down the line? There were so many. Tell me about the struggles. Well, of course, like at the beginning, I was like a blind little puppy who was just figuring out things, and by some experiences, by mistakes, of course, I was trying to understand if I'm doing something right or if I'm doing something wrong. And of course, step by step, you could just try things out and see if it works. So there was no like foundation or art market education or something like that. So I had to figure things out myself, which was kind of difficult that time. It's nowadays when we have a lot of YouTube channels with a lot of information. You have me, come on. But that time, you remember, we were like we didn't communicate on very true. So yeah, it was difficult. It was difficult because I had to figure things out myself. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you ask me what I think about the whole, so what I think about the whole thing is that, like, it's from the marketing perspective. A bad product can never be saved by good, beautiful, perfect marketing, because bad product is bad product. Like there's nothing you can say more to that. But even with bad marketing, a good product can thrive. Over time, it will find the right people, it will find the right like place to be visible, to be presented. So this whole thing can be saved. So I totally agree about the balance of the whole thing, because it seems that, but it also comes, I think, from this not clear understanding of what even talent is. So how, like, how do we decide that this artist is talented, this one is not, that this art is great, this art is not? Because it's so, subjective that you can't have this categorization of how you place
different artists, different artworks.
Yeah, so there are like several options. Whether it survives some period of art history and kind of like proves that it's a good art because it survived that. Because as Jerry Saltz said, 85% of art was mediocre art, and like what survived, what we see in museums is actually, and even though like there's also like a mediocre works, but this is like kind of we judge as a good art, so it survived the art period of art history. But nowadays, it's so difficult to know what is good art and what is not, right?
Exactly.
Whether artist has talent or not, because it's so subjective. And there are also haters and fans. So it's very difficult nowadays. But
Yeah, and like, do you remember when you like when we visit some museums or some galleries, and sometimes you're completely at all with the piece that you saw on the wall, but sometimes it's like, really?
yeah,
Like you try very very hard to understand why is the piece there,
right?
yeah, and like we do some work, we do some research because we still don't want to be the haters. Yeah, so it's really interesting to see why, like how, what was the journey there. But without that, even sometimes with that research,
Yeah.
you still don't understand why it's there. So it seems that sometimes, like we're talking about balance, but sometimes really, like, because we live in a very noisy, subjective, over marketed world, sometimes it's enough to just be the most relevant to the context where you live, and then you're golden, like then you have that success.
And nowadays, is with the social media, there are so many great artists. There are so many talented artists, and it's really pity to see some of the really talented artists that are not very friendly with art marketing, who cannot show them to the world on the high, like full scale, right?
Yeah.
This is really sad.
Yeah, and I remember when I was talking with one of the artists before we had the first workshop, and we were doing the whole this customer development thing, and one artist told me that so many out there are highly talented, like highly talented, but completely unknown, just because they don't get the whole like, market game, and they stay unknown, they stay unrecognizable by the world, not because they're bad,
Yeah.
just because they didn't, like, they don't understand the rules, because it's hard to understand them. Like there's no playbook of how this whole thing should be.
And now we have social media. Can you imagine like times before social media, when even talented artists couldn't go through all this noise without any mentor or patron or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So thanks God we have social media, guys, right?
Yeah.
It's a amazing tool.
But to get back to the talent side of things, so we both established that we think talent is essential. And by talent, I would like to specify that I don't mean that you need to be born with the talent. It's something that you can work
Like
on.
Michelangelo.
Exactly, exactly. So yes, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes work. Like you build your talent. It's not like that you were born and it's exactly right out of the womb and doing
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
What's
So
coming to my mind right now is talent nowadays is probably something that you're able to visualize your own thoughts and language into like some coherent image and visual language. So if you're able to speak with oils or any medium so clear that you can prove that it's kind of like your thoughts and you're showing that it to the world, maybe this nowadays a talent. I'm not sure, because to draw perfectly, to be an academical, technical drawing, to have it on top level. It's nowadays it's not enough, right?
yeah,
So it's
definitely.
probably about the signature style.
Signature style.
Watch our previous episode about
Yeah, we will link it here, so go watch the episode. But it's very nice that you mentioned coherency, because also what's like how it helps to have this talent to work and talent to grow, to develop, is that once you see this consistency, then like it's my opinion. Maybe you see different, but it helps you also to then create not easily, but just a little bit more, un poco easier. Exactly, because then you don't have this, completely blind, empty spot in your brain. Like, what am I even doing?
Oh yeah.
Right. So when you have like at least a bit figured this out of how you actually speak, so what your language is, because you have worked on it.
We need
Like,
to learn another language of just expressing ourselves. This is so difficult. Life is a pain.
okay, thank you for the take, but to go back to the consistency stuff. So, like in my understanding, consistency can always also give you confidence. So you have confidence through your skill.
Right.
When you yourself know, yes, you need to be objective about that, but at least on some level, knowing that your craft gives you confidence, then you have, I guess, less, this struggling, procrastinating kind of thing inside of you.
You still have it.
Well, of course, it's still
you
how it.
have it. It just, but you're absolutely right. I just feel it by my art practice. Whenever I manage to keep my skill or like level of a skill on some higher level, I just feel more confident. I feel that I can create whatever came to my mind, and I can paint that, and I can express myself easily or easier.
Oh, easier.
Easier.
Yeah, we need to learn some English.
Yeah, and that's why we started our podcast in English. Yeah, but anyway, you're absolutely right. Like, and I think this is the golden rule of 10,000 hours.
Yeah, something so of some kind of some amount of hours. Many hours.
Yeah. This is probably so true, because without this repetition, without that, I don't know, like consistency in even like getting this brush strokes or pencil lines or whatever it is, like what medium you work with. When you feel confident with medium you're working with, it's just like change. It's a game changer. So game changer,
Sure.
changer,
Game changer. So to end with this part of the video, do you consider yourself talented?
Oh god.
Oh, that's a good one. That I knew it.
Is it possible just leave the room?
No.
Damn it. It's a very tricky question, Because
I know.
okay, now it's one part of my body and brain says that you are talented because you reach some levels, you got some like success in art career or something like that. You can at least paint and people recognize it's a face, But at the same time, I feel it could be better. Like it always, there is no like a limit in talents. So it always can be kind of like a better technique, a better vision, a better expressing yourself. So it's always like you can go further.
Yeah, but like, of course, you should go further. Like I can see how blushy you are. But really, it's all right to feel that it's still like not, that you still haven't reached your highest potential, because I think that point is actually death. When you stop progressing, when you stop developing, then like what? So there is no this highest points that okay, that was enough. Now I can.
I think you will never reach.
Yeah, but that's all right. You still need to have like a healthy amount of that self-confidence in order not to go, too deep into that whole imposter syndrome thing. But yeah, it's all right to be, you breathe out.
Yeah.
And from my point of view, because I wanted to make it clear here, Jesus.
And I'm sitting so uncomfortably. I just chose a very weird pose.
We will change it now. But just to finish with this one, when we think about our own talents, it's, as you say, it's very hard to be objective. So, for example, from my point of view, when I look at you and at your journey, because, well, I've had the privilege of being there for the whole time, the talent, like will I say that you're a talented person? Well, 100%. You're a 100% talented person. Yes, start blushing again. Will you start crying at this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's not like you don't stop at the craft, that you learned how to do one thing and then that was enough and you just tried to stick to that. You're constantly developing, you're constantly trying something new. And if you look at your works like 15 years ago and now, there's so much different.
Yeah, the progress is definitely
Exactly. So that's like, for me, that's the talent. It's not that you have it already from the beginning, because how many of us actually do have that talent from the beginning? I don't think that many of us.
Yeah.
But if you
There's
put
some skills on
if you put in the work, yes, you can have some basic skills, but you also need to put in the work to then make it bigger, make it better, not to some final extent, but just to have this constant desire to learn and to grow. So that for me is talent. You're definitely a talented person.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. But you know what's funny is whenever you think you are talented, then you open Instagram and you see more talented people and you're like, yeah,
I know
I'm
that's
not that talented.
that's
without talent.
that's a topic for another episode because that's a long one. Okay, we have ended on a very depressive note, the last parts. But sadly, the next one is not much more joyful than the last one. It's still about the marketing. And before I step into my role of this truth bomber kind of thing, now after you've learned some stuff about yourself, you've learned some stuff about the market, would you say that you have figured it out?
No. I mean, like, I know more things that I knew before. That's definitely, and I know that I have more tools and I know how to use them a bit better than I knew before. But of course, it's a never-ending game, and there are so many things, and they're happening like every day. Something new is coming to, like technologies, AI, whatever. So, yeah, the answer is no.
The answer is no. Okay. Would you say that there are ways, like clear ways for you to try a bit at least to understand what's going on in order to like make your marketing game better?
Say again. Could you please say?
Could you
Oh,
please
this
repeat
with
this?
somebody else.
What were you thinking about?
Uh, my mood board.
Okay, good. At least something relevant. Do you think that you have clear, understandable means in order to like get the information of what you should be doing?
Should I say no again, or I should say yes because I already have you?
Thank you. I was actually waiting.
God,
I was waiting
I'm
for
so
that.
bad in reading between the lines. I'm so sorry.
Jesus.
I love my sister. I swear. Yeah, I mean, like, it's really nice for artists to have someone to help with that part of art journey. Really. So, and I'm really grateful I have you.
I will forgive you later. But actually, it was not, like about advertisement or something. If you didn't have someone to tell you what to do you think then you would have the tools in order to understand what's going on and what you should do?
I think my journey would take longer, much longer, because I would have to figure things myself out, right? And having some professional, some expert in your life, it's really very, very helpful. And it squeeze your weird research, like from 10 years into like a year or something like that. So definitely with the help, it's much easier.
So to step in here, like first of all, I want to say that yes, like no matter how much you don't want to do it, doing at least some marketing is important because we live, as I said, in a very noisy world with thousands, hundreds of thousands of artists. If you look at the number of artists graduating art schools every year,
And not graduating self-taught artists.
Exactly, or not
So
graduating.
many.
That's important. That thinking how like all of them should be visible to the market, it's just like it's impossible.
Yeah.
But you
so
have a bit
difficult.
more chance if you're at least doing something, anything at all. You like we all should decide for ourselves what that something is, but you need to give yourself like a better push in order to be out there, in order to be
Yeah.
visible, and also at the same time to control the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know many people hate this personal brand kind of thing because it sounds very commercial, very salesy, and we are here about art. We're not about exactly. So this is something of the higher, this level. So and marketing is somewhere down there. So you shouldn't be doing that. But personal brand is not about that. It's not about being salesy. It's about letting people know what you are, who you are, being authentic to them, and not oversell, but actually just be very sincere, very real. Because in the
organic and natural, right?
organic and natural, exactly. Because if you try to oversell yourself, if you try to follow all those shortcuts advice, and I will get back to that later, then after some time, you will find yourself completely burnt out because you've been trying and trying and trying to follow all those tips that say that you do that. And in like 1 week, you will be selling 10 times more art. And in 2 weeks, you will have 10,000 more followers. And then that is not happening. And while you're doing that, and that is not happening, you're also not being true to yourself.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that you're like kind of faking it.
Exactly.
Because it's not you. You're pushing some role, you're pushing some character, right? Like you're trying to pretend to be someone else.
Yeah.
Funny, sailing, like all this stuff, but it's not you. So the main thing is to be true to yourself.
Exactly, because this will end someday. Like no matter how hard we try to be someone to play this role, that somebody told us that it would be nicer, if you were this person, it would be nicer to the market. So you tap into that role, and after a year, you find yourself completely drained of energy, of any desire to do anything in your life, to create, just because you know that most of the part it's been someone else. It's not been you who have done all those things. It's just some role, and you have no energy to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And it's important to understand here that there are like two types of marketing. The one that we're mostly used to is this pushy, salesy, very noisy, very loud, flashy kind of thing. Exactly when it's like for the shortcuts. Like you do this, 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 you pay 2,000 for the course, and then you will be safe.
Your 5 minutes of success.
Exactly, safe for eternity. So you will have X times more sales, you will have X time more followers. I don't know. You should never go and I don't know, talk to galleries because all of them will be talking to you. So that's this, like, as I say it, unethical kind of marketing. And it's very hard to do this one when you are a personal brand and not a commercial brand. Even commercial brands, like if we look at the trends, are trying to go like from this pushy and loud approach to some ethical approach where you still stay yourself, you control the narrative, you don't need to play any role, and you just you be you be as you are. And yes, it will take time. So like about those shortcuts, from my experience, and I've been doing that for like different types of projects and niches. In this kind of niche, there is no shortcut because it's very subjective. Like how can you say that there is some one size fits all kind of tool, and then you try that, it doesn't work, and what do you immediately start thinking? That there's something wrong with me. It's not the tool, it's me who is crap.
Hello, therapist?
Exactly. And so maybe if this thing is not working out, but there were all those credentials and feedbacks and all those case studies, how, I don't know, artist one tried that, and this is the result in 1 week. Artist B tried that. Exactly. So you think, oh my God, I need that.
Yeah.
I need, like, because I have the same kind of problem, the same kind of struggle. So I need to try this tool. And then you try it. But nobody can ever like make you this promise that this will 100% work, because there are so many external elements, exactly, so many factors that also should be like put into that whole playbook. Yeah, to understand that for some people it's faster, for some it's longer, for some it's easier, for some it's harder. Like if we take your example, it's easier for you to do the social media game because naturally you're this outgoing, easygoing, friendly person. It's easier.
I'm
I
not
will not
afraid
say
to say bullshit.
exactly. So,
So I'm relaxed.
but for example, if we, I don't know, we'll take some other artists who don't have this natural ability to speak on camera. I don't know. It was not natural for you, you learned it, but it was still easier for you to do that.
Experience based, not just.
And then, like, what? Nothing for you to do. You should just die. Was it different?
Oh, you said we were very tragical in the first.
And I said that the second part will not be in your episode. No. I made this disclaimer. Yeah, but like I actually wanted to, to give more reassurance that if something is not working, it's not with you. If you are not putting in any effort, if you're just sitting there thinking like, okay, so somebody will discover me, somebody will come, this whole thing will start working out. Well, then yes, this is under your control, under your influence. But if you do put in the work and it's not happening in like 1 week, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because just it's not a shortcut. It cannot work like this. Like in your experience, is there any marketing tool that you just saw, I don't know, on the internet or you heard it from me? But I hope I never like say it that you just do that and then result. Like, is there anything that you've tried and it was like, worked?
No, there was nothing that worked immediately, or like I was promised to have this or that amount of followers or likes, and it just appeared. No, it never happened. Even you, when you suggest me to do, like when you write me a plan or something like that, it's always like a very honest, first of all, honest opinion. It's your honest words that this might work. You have to do this and this and this, but we might wait until it will work. So there is always a time algorithm. There can be so many political, economical stuff going on in the world. So you never promised me like that. It will be like exactly like that. But if you do this and this and these steps, it will bring you to this level or to that results, something like that, right? But you have to do something.
You
right?
have to do
It's
something.
unfortunate, but there is no like a super powerful pill that you drink and next day you wake up.
Yeah. It would be nice to have that
It's
one.
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's good that you mentioned that. Yes, it's just my understanding that you can never give some promises. And what's more importantly, it should be very important to marketing specialists out there giving those advice, because you should be very careful not to break someone's dreams.
Exactly.
Because if you say about all those shortcuts and how it will absolutely 100% work, and then for someone it doesn't,
And people look what?
exactly, it's
me.
because
I'm
of
doing
me.
something wrong. I'm wrong.
We have no like right to do that. So I hope some marketing specialists are watching that, guys. Let's be careful and honest with what
Artists are
we're
very
advising.
sensitive creatures. So whenever you give this kind of promises that you will get this and that, and it's not happening, believe me, someone cries there because of you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, good. But anyway, we still think that marketing is essential. when done right, when you put in the effort, when you invest the time, you do it smart, not just to, shooting in every direction, trying everything. Like you actually choose your tools depending on what the goals are. But you have to have this understanding that you need to wait for some time. But then if you do wait, if you do put in the work, then of course you have more chance than those artists who do nothing towards that marketing effort just because they're not like helping the audience, helping the collectors, the galleries, any arts institutions, or anyone out there to see them and to see them as they are, as they want to be seen.
Yeah.
So definitely a tool, but use it wise.
Yes. And it's also, I should also probably say that what helps me to kind of take it easier about all the success of other artists, because when you watch it on social media or in the news, you think that this artist just like woke up one day very successful, selling all the artworks and all this stuff. But what helps me a lot is reading kind of like a memoirs or biography, or to see a retrospective of
to
the
have
artists.
this, yeah,
Have this zoom out,
point from,
and you see that this artist probably struggled like 50 years,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
something happened, like there was some chance and this person got this chance, and then he or she had success. So it's always nice to go to zoom out, even on your life, even on your art journey. If you will zoom out, not be focused on exactly this day, and just see about your art journey in general, and see, did you actually, do you see progress? And usually people see progress when they zoom out.
Yeah,
and they
compare
see
with your old self,
Exactly,
not with
yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah, because usually it started, I started painting in my bedroom or in the kitchen at night after my main job or something like that. And now I'm having more time to paint. Even this is a progress. I mean, this is a success, actually, when you can do something you love. So the next step is just like figuring out what to do in the matter of, I don't know, presenting yourself, selling, or whatever, and marketing and all this stuff. So
Absolutely. So that was more positive. See, we're getting better.
and I ended up with some positive news.
So not shattering anyone's
Zoom
rules.
out, zoom out.
Let's try to keep it positive since it was so good last time. Uh, the the final part to make it like to make some conclusion around that. So I think we both have an opinion, as we have discovered before, that we support balance.
Exactly.
That
Balance is
marketing,
key.
exactly, that marketing and talent are not competitors. They are not like rivals. They can be partners. And when you think about marketing being like a framework for your art that enhances the artwork and not overshadows it, then like I think it's easier just to live with that idea that you don't have to do marketing first, art second. It's still art first and then marketing second, because marketing should support the first part, and the first part should be, well, good to have the chance to be promoted.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's also, like, as we said, balance is definitely the key. And the other thing that would probably be very helpful is trying to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
I know that we see on Instagram so many people, I don't know, painting in sexy paints,
Panties?
panties, or doing some weird stuff that we're like, how they do this?
This.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's sometimes too much, and we don't feel like we're related to that. And it's okay. I mean, like, I'm not doing that because I'm not feeling this is like something to my nature that's suitable to my nature. So trying to find what suits you as a
Exactly.
person is also very essential.
Exactly.
Don't try to fake it.
Yeah, don't try to fake it. And as I've said before, don't try to shoot in every direction. Like, for example, if you are not comfortable with, being very online social, okay, then you find the means offline, you find the means to not be, so visible
Yeah.
in front of the
Record your
camera,
voice on
or record your
background.
voice. Exactly. So
Do the
you
mysterious stuff.
you choose the tool because all of them will work when they are authentic.
Mhm.
And if you turn the whole marketing game into the creative process, because it can also be a creative
It's fun,
process,
actually, to
showing your
share.
journey, because
Yeah.
you have journey, we all have stories, all of us in the world, we all have stories. And finding, ways that are true to you to show that journey
Mhm.
and to engage people, it's also about creativity.
Absolutely.
So
I mean,
it's
like even your life, like living your life, being creative, in any ways. Like even when you cook, even when you walk, you read, whatever. It's all like a part of creativity, right?
of
And
course.
if you didn't read Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act, you should, because I think it explains so many things that we talking about. And yeah, being true to yourself, definitely. Even if you're like, mother with two kids, only painting in your kitchen when it's dark and
Yeah.
your kids are sleeping and you're super tired. It's also a super amazing story, right? It's like it's your journey and you should definitely share it, right?
Of course, yeah. And like when we are talking about having this story, having something for the personal brand, it doesn't mean that you need to have this, I don't know, sex, drugs, rock and roll kind of history.
Although it was nice times, I guess. I feel like that.
Okay, you stay with me, stay with that. But really, you don't have to have some over exciting life in order for it to be a story. We are already all stories. And we tell them to partners, to friends, to colleagues, to relatives, to people around. That's just one more audience who we're telling our story to.
Yeah.
So it's just about knowing that it's there and taking easy, practical steps, not trying to overdo, the whole marketing thing.
Yeah.
And from day one, start doing everything and be perfect in it. It takes 100 real
Yeah.
to be good and real.
Exactly. Or talking in front of the
Or talking in
camera.
front of the camera.
Yeah. And also, like sharing this kind of ordinary stories, what people think it's ordinary. Oh, I'm painting in my kitchen. But I think even more people can be related to that because watching someone having success is actually not very relatable because you're seeing someone very lucky, and this is probably 1% of all artists, but related to someone who is struggling and painting after a main job. This is like actually very relatable.
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 Yeah.
Yes, of course. It's not about like, successful success, like we like to say it in Russian.
Yeah.
That it's still just about being as you are and having it as it is. Because yes, you mentioned it correctly. It's very hard to feel close to somebody else's success. It's just a behavioral pattern.
Yeah.
Like it's not that we are bad creatures. It's just wired already somewhere there. So you are allowed to share things as they are because it's actually better to share things as they are. And don't forget to still work on your art, work on your doing and develop, because once again, no matter how good your marketing is, it will never, okay, I will not say never, there are cases, but most of the times, if you're still not some big name in the art world, it will be much harder to promote something that is still technically not there.
Yeah. And be patient. Be patient, my friend. Patient?
Passion? Patient?
Patient. Patient. Be patient.
Be patient and have
Wait.
passion.
I love this.
Yeah.
We should end it with this kind of quote.
We hope it was insightful enough, even with all the giggling, crappy forgetting of the words and all that. We try to share it as it is, as we know it, in the hope that it will help you feel a bit better
And confident.
and confident and keep creating.
Yeah, keep creating because this is the only way we can live, actually. I mean, like, I can't imagine any other way. So even if it's struggles and pain, I will still do it.
So follow us to still do it with Tanya.
Maria.
and Maria, and with everyone around here. Watch more episodes that are about to come. Watch the episodes that are already here. Leave your comments below where you stand. Is it team marketing or team talent or team nothing? And balance. If you're balanced already enough, share how you did that.
And subscribe. It will help us to be more positive about next episodes and that you like our weird talks.
For now, we're very positive. Leave your thoughts, your ideas, your topics that you would like to see discussed here, because we're very eager to discuss them.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Ciao.